keep it real, you fly. To keep it real, you high. To keep it real, I swear I let you know it all the time. We keep it in G, I let you know you got me. Don't tell me wrong. I'm keeping it G, I'm on like all the things.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Cree. So, first of all, I want to start off by saying, y'all, I was wrong. I was dead ass wrong, y'all. For everybody that supported my theory, y'all, shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Man, all y'all. We did our best to take the pieces that was presented to us to come up with, our own thoughts to how this would end. And everybody else, they took some of the stuff they saw and, tried to piece together how this would end. I said plenty of times before that this story could go either way, y'all. I was not expecting it to go this way. And I'm having mixed feelings about this ending, you guys. I am having very mixed feelings about this. And I'm not talking about like the perfect drink at the bar mixed feelings. I'm talking about oil and water mixed feelings. Like, oh my God. There was some things that I liked. And there were things that had me like, bruh. But again, y'all, welcome to my final thoughts on the series finale. Damn, where do I even start with this? All right. So first of all, like I said, my theory was wrong. But there were actually some aspects of the theory that were correct. But all right. So first of all, let me briefly summarize what happened in the finale. Spoiler warning for everybody who hasn't seen it yet. I know Sam said that if you didn't catch it yesterday, it'll take a couple of days before it actually hits the streaming services for everybody who missed it to catch it. So let me just put that out first and foremost. I will be spoiling the series finale for Mr. Robot. If you don't want to be spoiled, get out of here. Leave. Get out of here. Okay? Go. Because I'm finna tell it all. And if you did see it, take a seat, let us talk about this, okay? All right. So, from my previous video, like I said, from everything that we've all, saw and the clues we gotten from the promo, we all put together what was going to happen as far as, the time frame from the episode where Elliot wakes up, he goes and visits everybody, and they have their reactions to, basically he has his reactions to seeing everybody alive in this new perfect world. And I think I'm safe from that aspect of the predictions. Because if you notice in my last video, I said I was not going to call it a parallel timeline or universe or anything like that. I was just going to refer to it as the perfect world. So me taking that stance, I was safe from being wrong from anything else. Okay. So kudos to me on that. But like I said, we get his reactions to everybody. And like I said before, guys, we all predicted this, that he was going to go to the Mr. Robot shop, look at the phone and see that he called himself and dropped the phone. We predicted that he was going to go to Angela's apartment. His parents was going to be there. We thought that Emily actually answered the phone, but he answered the phone and heard his voice. And he broke the glass by dropping it. And that was Emily's blood on the napkin. So kudos to all of us for pointing that out. And I said that by the time Perfect World Elliot got to his apartment, Real World, well, the mastermind, now that he has a name, the mastermind was already at the apartment, logging into the computer, doing something by the time he came in there because of the screens that were up. So we predicted the time frame for this. So kudos to us. That's what happens when things are laid out. We can actually piece them together and come up with a cohesive conclusion. You feel me? Oh my God. But this shit. Okay. So the first hour of this, the traversing through the perfect world lasted a little too long for my liking. Okay. The scene at Angela's apartment, that went on a little too long. It went on longer than necessary. We didn't have to be there as long as we were. If you cut that scene in half, we would have had time for numerous other things. But for some reason, he decided to extend on that portion of it. I think that was probably, besides the two Elliots meeting at the apartment, the scene with him at Angela's apartment was just one of the longest scenes in this finale, and it was unnecessarily long. But they have the conversation and everything, and you know, she tells him about she knows about the book she got Angela for the wedding and things like that, and we get him going to the apartment and stuff. And now we have the conversation between the two Elliots, where Elliot logs into the hidden partition and he sees the comic book strips of everybody that he knows. Keep that shit in mind. Okay, so he sees the comic strips and the perfect where Elliot's like, you know, I created him because, you know, that's who I saw myself as. I wanted to be a more interesting person. And he's like, that guy, I don't want to be like him. He's not normal. He has a lot of shit going on and this, that, and the third. And he looks at Mastermind and is like, oh shit, I'm sorry, dude. You know, I now realize that I'm talking about you. And he's like, oh yeah, never mind. Don't even mind that, because, you know, he's actually kind of right. And we realize that the real perfect world Elliot can hear him talking to us. And we actually have a name now. We're the Voyeurs, okay? He's talking to us, the Voyeurs, and perfect world Elliot can hear it. And so he's like, oh shit, damn. So his privacy between us being the Voyeurs, Mastermind, the privacy between us is broken because the real Elliot can hear us. So there's no hiding from anything anymore, apparently. And then we realize that, you know, Elliot, the Mastermind, he was trying to take control of perfect world, the real Elliot's life. You feel me? But that's one that goes into what I was saying about when the Mastermind was created, he became a person, he became something of his own self, which is why we're always interacting with him. And he created Mr. Robot. So it goes into that. I was right about that. But then the earthquake happens again when they touch, the earthquake happens and Elliot hits his head on that one little, the funny thing is, he hits his head on the heater that he has been kicking since, you know, the first season. So it finally got some revenge on him, like, psh, yeah, that's for kicking me, bitch. And so he falls on the ground and everything. And so Mastermind's having like an internal conflict about whether or not to call somebody to save the real Elliot or offing him and taking his place. And he decides to do the latter. He offs him, chokes him to death, and then takes his place. Kind of reminiscent of the Sharon Knowles death, how Tyrell killed Sharon Knowles. He choked him. I don't even want to compare those two anymore. But all right. So then we get the scene of him getting dressed in the mirror, and Mr. Robot finally makes his appearance. You feel me? And the funny thing is, Elliot's getting all dressed in the mirror and everything, and I'm looking at it. His shirt's all wrinkled. His tie's crooked. Like, you don't know how to be this person. You don't know how to be proper and normal. This isn't you, bruh. Stop it. Just stop. I'm with Mr. Robot. You're not him, bruh. You ain't him. You can't do this. And so he rolls him down there in a box, and we get Meter Maid Dom. And she pops up and says, I can't let you get away with this. At the moment, I was like, okay. I was piecing together the fact that everybody from like the real world who is now being pictured in this world has been dropping hints about like real life reactions to situations. You feel me? For example, like I said, Dom says, I can't let you get away with this. One, if she was referring specifically to him parking in the wrong spot, you're taking your job a little bit too serious. You can't let him get away with being parked somewhere for 2 extra minutes. Get the fuck out of here. But that's what she was talking to when we all thought she was talking about him killing the other one in the box. And then he gives her the ID and she says, "This doesn't look like you." At that moment, I was like, that was a perfect breadcrumb to show that he's not who he thinks he is, which kind of it really was. But at the same time, that would have been great to push the Tyrell Elliott theory. But I'm guessing Sam was thinking more so on the lines of, you think you're Elliot Alderson, but you're really not him. You feel me? That was a hint towards that. He's not really who he thinks he is, being Elliot and not the Tyrell theory. But okay. So once Dom looks in the box, the world starts to shake again, and Elliot miraculously outruns her. And then, you know, we start getting the scene on the train when Mr. Robot is trying to convince him that this is not going to work. I've been trying to show you the truth all along. You just don't want to hear it. You just don't want to see it. And then we get him seeing Angela. And, you know, she's running. That was another scene that did not need to last as long as it did. The fucking running away. Oh, my God. I started getting a little irritated when she was running down the alley and we saw her run all the way down the damn alley, bro. Like, goddamn. And then they go into the F Society arcade, and this was really great, though. This was really great how this scene from season 1 came all the way through to the final episode. And it was a line or two that was different. Instead of saying it doesn't fit, she doesn't say that, but she does say all the other lines as far as, "You're not the real Elliot. You're the mastermind." Bruh. Think about this for a second. Why in the hell was that line distorted in season 1, and once we get here, it's not really that much of a reveal? If she would have said that line, that you're the mastermind, in season 1, it would have taken nothing away from what we learned through the entire series coming up until this point. It would have revealed not one damn thing. She could have said that line all the way back in season 1, and it would have taken nothing away from what we've learned all the way up until now. That was, I guess, what they're calling a red herring, if you will. Because it didn't reveal a damn thing. It just revealed that was the title to what he is. If she would have said, "Oh, you're the mastermind," back in season 1, we would have thought that, hey, maybe he's actually in charge of everything going on as far as F Society. And maybe we would have came to the conclusion that he was actually Mr. Robot at that time. But we wouldn't have come to the conclusion that he was another whole alternate personality just from that line. No, it wouldn't have happened. And so now we get the scene where, you know, this was probably one of my favorite scenes in the episode, was when he gets to the beach and all the people start looking like Christian Slater. First you get the little boy looking up at him with the Christian Slater face, and then you get the Christian Slater with the ponytail over there sitting having dinner with all the other Christian Slaters. That was the funniest shit to me, bro. I'm like, bro, this is like an acid trip, bro. But he starts walking after Mr. Robot, and in this moment, everything silences, and then he says, "I'm not going anywhere, kiddo." And then we start seeing him chase him, and when he finally reaches him, he turns into Tyrell Wellick. And Tyrell Wellick looks at him, and everybody around him stops. And he straightens up his jacket, takes out the gun, and shoots him. And we get the distortion. And then in that distortion, we hear the famous line, "Bonsoir, Elliot." Mastermind laying on the ground in the dark while Tyrell's digging a hole, takes Elliot, drags him, throws him in the hole, walks off, and he doesn't move. And we start hearing Darlene saying, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." And when Mastermind finally wakes up, he's in Krista's office, like feeling his stomach, like, "I thought I got shot, this, that, and the third." And then Krista says that, first Elliot says, "I heard Darlene," and she was like, "Well, Darlene's out there in the real world." And he's like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "You're not Krista." And she was like, "Oh, well, apparently. But the others thought it would be better if I talked to you since you trust her so much." I'm going to pause that before I go into, the super reveal of what we got. First of all, that was too much of a coincidence. Because one, let's think about it like this. In this perfect Mindscape world, the only 3 characters whose real world versions appear here are 1, Mastermind or Elliot, 2, Mr. Robot, and 3, Tyrell Wellick. Those are the only 3 entities whose both perfect world and real world versions appear here. We had all the ingredients, like the pot was cooking, y'all. We had all the ingredients for this mind fuck. One, we could have, the perfect world landscape would have explained the perception differences between the 2 of them. 2, the control that Elliot's been trying to strive for would have been explained here. You feel me? Seeing as, like I said before, he was an alternate that was created but decided to take control. That would have fit perfectly here. We had all the ingredients. The comic strip on the hidden partition, the real Elliot could have explained to him that, that this is what I thought of him. We could have went to the explanations of all the characters, as far as, our theories, why he made each one of those people. But like I said before, guys, the real world Elliot created the alternate Mastermind, and the Mastermind created all of the other personalities. You feel me? But I digress, bruh. We had all the ingredients set up for this to be a great reveal. When he gets his car keys and walks over to find the car, he goes to Tyrell Relic's truck that was parked there. And here's a other Easter egg for you guys. Remember when he actually goes to his house and he runs into the little girl? Did anybody catch that the little girl was singing Frere Jacques? As Elliot always remembered that Darlene sang. So I'm thinking that this little girl is another manifestation of Darlene, and the personalities didn't want Darlene to actually exist in this world because she was a trigger for the real world Elliot to wake up. So they put all the thoughts and memories of her into this little girl, which is why she says, "Hi, Mrs. Alderson. Bye, Mrs. Alderson." And she knows damn near everything about it. "You don't have a sister." And like all this other stuff. Bruh, all of the ingredients were there. Dom not recognizing him on the ID. We get to, like I said, we go back to the room where he's with Krista, and she's like, yeah, I think it's about time that you actually learned the truth about who you are. And I think they think it's time too. They think so as well. And then she goes into the breakdowns of all of the different personalities about when they were created. One, I called this to the shot of him in the movie theater when his dad dies and he puts on the jacket, and that was the birth of the Mr. Robot personality. I called that. I said that was the scene of the birth of Mr. Robot. I also said that Kid Elliot was also a personality, and some people thought that he was just some kind of representation of his younger self. I said that Kid Elliot was also a personality. I did not catch the fact that the actual mom was another personality. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. No, she's not a personality. She has never once taken over the body in order to, interact with any of the characters. She was just there. I want to say as sort of like a mental assistant or secretary, if you will, but fuck it, whatever. Whoever called that we were also within his mindscape as a personality, kudos to you. We are the voyeurs. We have been the watchers since the beginning of all of this, and they know about us. And that was kind of scary when Krista was like, yeah, we knew about you all along. The voyeurs, who have been here since the beginning and think that you had no part in any of this. Like, damn, I didn't do nothing. I was just here. I was watching, ma'am. Don't put none of this on me. But, yeah, and then we get the mastermind. He was created. The one that started trying to seek, that had more control than any other personality. I know where you're going with this, but it's not true. Chaboo. And it's time for you to give back control. Oh my God. So then, we get the whole exposition when he wakes up between him and Darlene, and he's like, I'm not real. And Darlene's like, yes, you are. I have your hands. You're real. And he was like, no, I'm not. I'm just a part of Elliot. And she was like, yeah, I knew that all along. So Darlene knew he wasn't the real Elliot. And she knew from the gate when they started F Society. And she was saying that the whole reason she came back was so that they can get closer. And once they started getting closer, hell, she felt more for the mastermind personality than she felt for her own brother. And she left because she couldn't deal with what it was that Elliot went through. She wasn't well equipped to be there for her brother. And being a younger sister, I completely understand that, bruh. You don't know how to do. You know that something really bad happened and your brother needs you, but you're too young to sit there and deal with, one, your brother having multiple personalities. Two, he's depressed about something really bad that happened to him. And apparently, like I said, like she said, he put her into the closet when all this happened. So basically, she maybe felt responsible for what happened to him because he did it trying to protect her, and so she went away. You feel me? We know that Darlene has panic attacks and things like that. She wasn't equipped to deal with the issues that her brother was going through. That's why she left and came back, because she wanted to try to get closer to him. And finally here they get close or whatnot. And then he tells Darlene that he created a special place in his mind for the real Ellie, and he has everything he wanted except for one thing, which is Darlene. You feel me? And then we get the shot of all four of the personalities, plus us, if you want to throw us in there, fuck it. All five of the personalities in the E-Court building. Mr. Robot, the Mastermind, Kid Elliot, the mom, and us, the voyeurs. We are in the E-Court room. And once he leaves the E-Court room, some people be like, I'm reaching, but fuck it, I'm going to throw this out there. Was it me, or was the hallway as he was walking down it the same shade of blue that Tyrell Wellick disappeared into that light? Was that not the same color? If it's not, somebody tell me if it is. I said that was going to happen. We were going to go back to that room, or either wherever we were going was going to be that color. But, yeah, no. I was wrong about that too, but at the same time, like I said, the color did pop up, so I'll take those apples, you feel me? And then we get him going into the movie theater, and once he sits down and he's sitting there thinking and everything like that, we zoom into the actual projection light, and as we're zooming into the projection light, we're seeing these screenshots of different memories, going into the eye, meaning that the host, as they call it, is now getting all the memories of everything that's happened so that he can cohesively put them together and become one self. You feel me? Integration. They've all integrated back into the original host, which is why at the end, we get the zoom in of the eye, and then Darlene walks up and says, "Hello, Elliot." And that's it. Why would you leave it that ambiguous, you feel me, as far as the actual reveal to the host body? If you've already established that the real Elliot and the mastermind look alike, then you would have no problem just showing us that it was the real Elliot that looked like Rami Malek, and he might have had a more hopeful or enlightening expression on his face, which Darlene can what's the word I'm looking for? She basically can tell the difference between the expression this new one has, the new whole integrated person has, versus the expressions Mr. Robot has and the mastermind has. This new integrated, fully aware personality could have been shown with a whole new enlightening, happy, hopeful expression. Probably not happy because I'm in the hospital, but a wide-eye expression or something like that. And Darlene could have been like, "Oh, well, hello, Elliot." You feel me? And then that would have been the end of it. But you left that ambiguous on purpose. And I don't care no more. I can say whatever I want to. The series is over. I feel like somebody somewhere figured out the ending to this series, and he did not want it to go that way. So he took the ending that was predicted, gave us this, which is why it's not going to be available on streaming services for a few days after this, because he had to take the original ending and put this one out there, and all the streaming services had to delete the finale that they had. That way this new one can be available on streaming services for everybody, and he kept his ending from being ruined. I feel like that, and that would be petty as hell, Sam. If you did that, that was petty, bruh. That was petty. We have an ass of unanswered questions here in this series, which is why I feel like you did that. One, the opening on the entire series, episode 1, season 1, when he's on the train. Why are we on the train? Where are we going? What was he going from? His main thought was, damn, I knew I should have went to Angela's party. What was he doing that he didn't go to the party, Sam? Why were we on the train? Why was he such in a frenzy to create this new imaginary friend that the mastermind was created? Why? 2, the missing 3 days. What happened? Where was Elliot for the missing 3 days when Mr. Robot was with Tyrell Wellick? What happened? In that SUV, why was the USB under the sunroof covering of him jumping off, being pushed off the banister at the beach? Why was that in the SUV? There was no concrete evidence of the abuse between the father and the son. You could have given us at least one scene with the father either slapping the kid. I mean, we don't per se. I'm not advocating child violence here, but at the same time, if you say that you set the breadcrumbs and laid the foundation for this, you should have given us at least one scene with the father actually abusing the son. I'm not saying the sexual abuse part. Hell no. At least slapping him or beating him up, because the scene that was referenced when Krista was saying that he was trying to protect him from the abuse, if we go back to that scene in the episode that it happened, the dad says to him, "Oh, I guess you didn't tell the teacher your side of the story, huh?" And I believe that he got into a fight at school with some other kid, and he just didn't tell the teacher why he got into the fight or whatever. And his dad took him home or to the Mr. Robot store and said that he could name it, and he woke up and was like, you feel me? There was no concrete evidence of the abuse. What did Darlene whisper to him when he was released from jail? Because that was muted and we never got any dialogue to what that was. What did she say to him? We didn't get any of the missing minutes from Angela's meeting with White Rose as to what she showed Angela. Was it something on a screen that she showed Angela? Because as we all know now, if we put the context clues together, she could not have turned that machine on and given her a taste of it because it uses too much damn power. That wasn't it. What did she show Angela? What happened to Tyrell Wellick in the episode Not Found with the light? Because that whole Lost going into the light thing, the Lost series finale with the light thing, that does not work here. No, that shit does not work here. And finally, with this episode, I mean, there may have been more that somebody somewhere can pick apart and we can go in on this together. But here in this episode, why is it that the only real world versions of characters we get are Mr. Robot, Tyrell Wellick, and our Elliot, and their counterparts here also exist? Those three characters are the only ones that in these episodes, in this world, their real world versions and their perfect world versions are both here. Why? And some people know I am not upset at the fact that I was wrong. I love to be wrong. But if I'm wrong, I want the truth to outweigh what it is that I put out there. You feel me? If I was wrong about this theory, you should have come back and gave supporting facts as to why I was conclusively wrong and why the ending of this show was the definitive conclusion to the show. The only thing that I can think about that completely disproved my theory, not were good counter arguments to it, but actually completely disproved it. And a lot of people pointed this out to me, and I really didn't have an explanation. I just gave my opinion on it. Was the FBI board with Tyrell and Elliot on it. That was the only thing that definitively kind of put my theory under the bus. But at the same time, my argument to that was, who was it? Darlene, she was the one looking at the board, so therefore she could have known, like, Tyrell Wellick was in the middle of it, and as I stated in my theory, I felt like in their world, Ellie Alderson really looked like Tyrell Wellick, so when she saw the Tyrell Wellick was in the center of it, and she saw, I quote, Tyrell Wellick's face, she could have, like, in her mind been like, damn, my brother's, like, the whole, like, behind all of this shit. You feel me? And when she saw the Elliot Alderson one, she could have put it together like, damn, he's posing as this person in her mind, in her perception. But at the same time, I was wrong, y'all. Ain't no need to bash me for that shit. I admit it. I was wrong. This finale was full of feelings and not full of facts. If that makes any sense to anybody. Yeah, you felt some warmth when he decided to give up control, and we realized that the mastermind was a new personality and he was protecting him and he had a good heart to do it and wanted to save the world to make a better future. Oh, and that explanation too, bro. Oh my god. Like I said before, it was full of feelings and not facts, but you remember when Crystal was explaining the different identities, and she was explaining the mastermind about how he wanted to do this to create a better future for Tyrell. Not Tyrell, oh shit. Create a better future for the real Elliot and make the world right for the real Elliot and this, that, and third. Bruh. Before we realized that, once the reveal was solidified, while she was giving that explanation, I'm sitting here thinking, like, one, he wanted to protect the real Elliot's future. We do know Tyrell Wellick had a son, and he wanted the world to be he may have wanted the world to be a better place for his son than it was for him. So that's why he wanted to get rid of all the pedophiles. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, that lines up. And that turned into something bigger. He wanted to save the world. And Tyrell Wellick always felt like, you know, this was bigger than them and this, that, and the third. And the mastermind persona was like, you're only seeing what's in front of you, not what's above you, the bigger picture. You're like, bro, all the ingredients. This ending wasn't as bad. It was nowhere near as bad as the Game of Thrones ending, because everybody feels like the Daenerys turn was just it was uncalled for and unannounced, and it just came out of left field. I do feel like seeing as, you know, with what we were given, I was able to come up with the conclusion that, you know, Rami Malek Elliott was actually an alter. That foundation was set up, bro. It was set up. But it's like you took the mind fuck and made it something else for the simple fact that you wanted to say this was a mind fuck. If you're gonna mind fuck me, have established foreplay, okay? And I'm gonna leave that as that. There is one thing that you can do, Sam, that will fix all of this. Give us the movie. The TV movie, release it on Netflix, just like Breaking Bad did with the El Camino movie. You can fix all of this with a Mr. Robot final movie, you know, tying up all these unanswered questions and loose ends. Mr. Robot, the true perspective, or something like that, you feel me? Because Breaking Bad, that is the golden standard on how you end a show, bro. That is the standard that everybody who's making a show needs to sit down and take notes on. When they're actually about to end something, you need to look over at Breaking Bad and be like, okay, this is what... Don't do it. Don't carbon copy what they did, but use guidelines from what they did. It tied up all the characters. The main character finally achieved what he wanted since episode 1. To help his family. All of the connections, they all lined up. And we had a great character resolution for this. It was a great resolution.
Elliot came to terms with his problems and everything. Isn't that a great conclusion? It ended on a high note.
Yes, it did, but no. No. Well, you're just not looking at it from a better perspective. This ending was ambiguous, leaving it open to interpretation based on certain facts. So anybody could be the real Elliot. This could be you. No! Damn it. From the past few years, you guys, from the experiences I've had, from now on, when I hear a show is going into its series finale, I don't even want to watch that shit no more, bro. If there's a series finale coming out for any show, I really don't even want to watch it now, bruh. Why is it that no series besides one or two can come up with a great conclusion to a story? Hell, even Star Wars Rise of Skywalker fucked up the conclusion to the damn trilogy. Is it that hard? Honestly, you guys, is it that hard to go back? I mean, y'all aren't writers and producers and stuff, so I'm not asking y'all personally. This is more of a rhetorical question that I feel like everybody should ask themselves. Is it that hard to, as a creator of a series, to go back through the series that you created and look at the facts that you've laid out and say, ha, in this episode, this is where we're going to connect this, and on this time we're going to put this here and that, and you know, at the end we're going to go, no, is it that damn difficult, y'all? My rating, I give this ending a 6 out of 10. A 6. A 6 out of 10, bro. The best part of the actual final episode, the last hour, was that music at the beginning when Elliot's rolling the box out of the apartment. That was some good ass scary ass music, y'all. It was like the Mr. Robot theme, but in sharp strings, you feel? It was like a horror, like the horror movie version when, you know, you got that one guy creeping through the house, sneaking around trying to get up because he hears something, and you get that, you know, that's what I got from, those are I got horror movie vibes from that scene, you feel me? And, you know, I kind of like the music I like the music from the whole show. The music is great. It always sets the tones for the scenes that you're in. The music always sets the tone for that. Also, is it me, or did in this episode the framing went out the window? The only, you know, like, extraordinary framing we got was, as I said before, was when Angela was running away and Elliot was chasing her, and then we got that excessively long shot of her running down the alley. Oh my, that was it. That was the only like out of the box framing we got. Other than that, you know, we got shots here to the side, you know. Now let's look at all four of them lined up and this, that, and the third. And if Tyrell Wellick ain't real, it ain't, none of them got shit to do with E-Corp. Why are we having the meetings with the personalities in the E-Corp building? Six out of 10. You can fix this with a movie. I enjoyed the series. Don't get me wrong, okay? And this is why I'm so passionate about how things ended, is because I enjoyed this series so much. I do. This series can be rewatched. It has rewatch value. You can rewatch this series and still enjoy it. But with this reveal, there is really no necessary reason to go back and rewatch it. Because if we rewatch it, tell me, if you rewatch this series, exactly what the fuck are you looking for? Are you looking for times when the mastermind slips and the real Elliot comes out? Can you tell the difference? Because they look just a goddamn like. And probably sound just alike. And from what we've seen between the interactions, the only thing that we get, but the difference we get between the two, one of them's scared of being unnormal and the other one just doesn't give a fuck. Like, yeah, okay, sure.
Oh my God, Angela's gonna look so beautiful tomorrow.
Yeah. Those one-line ass responses versus Elliot, can't wait to marry you tomorrow. Yeah, dude's a shitbag. I don't want to be like him. He's not normal. You know, like, bro. Really, bruh? Come on, man. There's no need for me to rewatch this series because it's going to play out the exact same way. I mean, I rewatched the series about 4 times just to pick apart, you know, my theory. I'm not going back into this again with this reveal. I enjoyed the ride, you guys. I did. I enjoyed the ride. But now that the roller coaster is actually down, I just got to turn around, look at the roller coaster. Yeah, that was decent for what it was, and keep it moving, y'all. I've already done my rewatches. I've supported you, Sam. Thank you. Matter of fact, beyond the rant, Sam, first of all, thank you for actually creating a series that, you know, defies the TV tropes that have been going on for years. You took a series and put it in an out-of-the-box perspective that kept us, you know, questioning what it was we saw. And not only questioning what we saw, with the main character, we were actually, it was like an introspect for us. We were looking into ourselves, you know, thinking about some of the things that he was saying, you know, about how we all have our daemons and things like that. You feel me? So you made a series that not only had us, relating to the character and had the character asking questions that had us thinking about our own lives. You did something groundbreaking with, one, the characters being actual computer hackers. You reached out to an entire demographic of people who didn't have a show in which they could relate to the characters on a deeper level, on a more personal level to what they were doing. There was a whole group of people out there that didn't have a show with characters that they could relate to in their life. And you gave that to them. You gave them a way of healing from things that they've been through with this show. And you're talking about different subjects that were once taboo in the normal world. And now the conversation's being talked about more as far as, emotional trauma, parental abuse, DID. You have brought conversation to a spectrum of subjects that weren't touched upon. And personally, I thank you for taking time out of your life, years out of your life to create this series. To the phenomenal actors that brought your vision to life in the form of this series. And to the actors, I thank you guys so much for, because this series could have been just like a clusterfuck of whatever. But the actors, it seemed like they were actually passionate about the characters they were portraying. And, thank you guys for putting in the work, and making this series not like a throwaway series that you could watch, but actually something serious. And everybody who's gotten an award for this series, you wholeheartedly deserve it. So again, thank you to all Sam, Carly, Portia, Christian, Rami, all of y'all. Thank y'all for that. But in hindsight, I feel like this conclusion could have been 1,000 times better. Hell, it didn't even have to be my theory coming true. It could have been somebody else's theory coming true. The Alderson loop theory. I would have been here for that. That would have been good. That would have been cool. There are so many theories out there that piece together this show, and with the supporting facts that they've gathered, look like this could have actually been a possible outcome. But it's over now. It's over. It's over now. It's over. Move over now. Yeah, it's done, y'all. So that's it, y'all. One, I thank y'all for coming through, voicing y'all opinions, giving me shout outs, throwing me under the bus, saying, fuck you, you're wrong, and this is why. Thank y'all too. Like I said, all the podcasts and channels that have given me shout outs, and also the ones who have been reviewing this series from season 1 up until now. Thank you guys for taking time out of your life to actually want to break this down and communicate with other people who are watching this, because there are some people out there who watch this show and they don't have anybody to talk about this show with. And I'm glad that it was able to bring us together and let us have a conversation about something great, you feel me? So I hope this ain't goodbye, friend. I'm gonna try my best to start reviewing a lot more things. That way I can communicate with you guys. In the comments, let me know what you guys think about this show that's gonna come out. Dare Me. Let me know what you guys think about that, because I might actually start reviewing that one. Instead of coming in later in the game, we will start from season 1, episode 1. Let me know what y'all think about that, and we'll all be here from the beginning of that. So thank y'all for y'all time, man. Thank y'all for all the, the few people who actually subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'm going to start doing a lot more content. And to my friend down there in the comments, thank you for the tips. And I will definitely utilize those tips as far as moving on in the future when it comes to making my videos. Like I said, you guys, I did this for fun. I worked 52 hours a week, you feel me? And on my days off and my time off, I record my thoughts and, you know, the things that I see in the shows, and I come to you guys and give you guys my perspective, and that way we can communicate on it. I'm not like a lot of these people who are out here trying to make a living off of doing this, you feel me? I did this for fun, you feel me? So I'm not expecting people to come in, donate to me, putting commercials in. I'm not doing all of that, you guys. This is for fun for me, okay? This is for fun. This ain't Marvel Studios, Paramount Pictures, where I got 18 computers lined up with a microphone hanging from my roof, all that other. No, I ain't got that, y'all. I'm doing this shit from my phone. You feel me? And that's why I'm not trying to make money off of this or anything like that. Because, one, I'm not saying that I'm putting minimal effort into doing it. But at the same time, I'm not trying to, like I said, make this make YouTube videos my life. I come here for fun to communicate with other people who actually have things going on in their lives as far as work. They have kids, you know, they travel, and you know, they watch the series on their time and they want to see what other people. That's why we're here. I'm here to communicate with you guys. I don't need y'all to pay me or donate to me, bruh. The fact that you took your time to come to my video and comment, that is your donation and payment to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you made a video and you have a channel, best believe I'm coming to your channel and I'm supporting you too. I'm finna comment, like, and everything like that. You feel me? So we need to stick. I fuck with y'all, and you know, hopefully in the future we can all come together again on something else. You feel me? With that, this is my sign off from the Mr. Robot theory. I was wrong, y'all. Go ahead and shame me in the comments.
You idiot. See there, it was already laid out. There's no way.
Yeah, just throw the rocks. All the rocks. Anybody else that thought of this theory, don't bother them. Throw the rocks at me for them. You feel me? I'll take all the hate for all this theory. I will take it. You feel me? But I'm sorry, y'all. I appreciate everybody who came through. I got love for y'all. And y'all will see me again. This might be the finale of Mr. Robot, but this ain't the finale for Creed. Love y'all, man.